on the far side of town, sharing a dream with anyone. She's made it through heaven, she's made it through hell. It's just another story to tell. Have you ever felt you're missing the dream? Have you ever wished your life was like the movie on the screen, filled with heartbreaks and fights through Hollywood nights, making up a bar queen on the phone in the great big boulevard, the place she belongs. It's just another story she tells. Have you ever felt you're missing the dream? Have you ever wished your life was like the movie on the screen, filled with heartbreaks and fights through Hollywood nights, through Hollywood nights, through Hollywood nights. You always looked after me, brother, when we were children. You always had my back. You took all the blame when our father caught us doing things that drove him mad. Through the years I could lean on you when I messed up. I'd call you in the night, but I broke too many promises and we split up. Though I still need ya, you gotta save me now. I'm slipping so far down, it's only you I trust to set me free from this. I don't know how I got into this awful spot. I don't know where it ends, so I can use your helping hand tonight. I wanna say that I'm sorry, I got sidetracked and I left you in the cold. I've seen your side of the story, I felt the drawback. My mistake took its toll. Finally, I have realized I was dead wrong. I wasn't thinking straight. No more lies, and from here on out I'll be better, 'cause I still need ya. You gotta save me now. I'm slipping so far down, it's only you I trust to set me free from this. I don't know how I got
From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. Hey yo, heart of a villain beats hard in the centrifuge. Bearded BP, 100 interviews. All it takes is 2 mics and 1 line. This is Bearded Villains podcast worldwide. Driving cross countries, getting ball tires. Fam across ponds, always inspired. Chapters connect, and then it's on fire. Check your phone, cause BV is like a live wire. They said that we couldn't do it and that another could. Never underestimate the power of brotherhood. Every bro, every chapter, every caption. Heart of a villain, bro. Lights, camera, action. Action, action, action. Let's go. BP. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition. This is a Friday night edition of The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the Bearded Villains Worldwide Brotherhood and the lives they are changing all over the world. Guys, it is Friday night, the 16th of September 2022. Thank you guys so much for being here. I had to push things back this week. It's a Friday night. I got to keep you guys on your toes, I think is kind of what I'm getting at here. You never know when I'm going to go live. But, you know, it's probably going to be Thursday or Friday, and mostly Thursday, except for the occasional Friday. But hey, that's how things go. That's how this stuff goes, man. Well, welcome to the Heart of a Villain, guys. You know me. Hopefully most of you do by now. BP from Bearded Villains, Northern Indiana, the host of The Heart of a Villain. Thank you to everybody who is listening on a standard podcast platform after the fact over at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com, theheartofavillain.simplecast.com, or any other podcast platform. Guys, so tonight, this is going to be a little bit fun for me because I'm going to try and do something a little different at some point. Some little fun surprise, and hopefully it'll work okay. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But this is going to be a fun night because we're going to be talking with one of our buddies, Jeremiah Duncan, the captain of BV Kentucky. And they have a really cool event going on this weekend. They're at the meet and greet right now, just hanging out. And they have a really cool event that it's designed to raise money for something that did not, honestly, it did not get enough press earlier this year with the major flooding that happened in Kentucky earlier this year. I remember hearing about it a little bit, but it just kind of glanced off the news pages, it felt like. And it seems like, and we talk about this in the interview, that it seems like, you know, it's hit and miss what tragedy of some sort seems to get the press. If it involves celebrities, it's covered more. If it involves millionaires, it's covered more. But when it involves regular people, it seems like it's quickly forgotten. And so we're going to touch on this and what a really cool event that they have going on this week. I want to give a shout out to the people that are here live that, you know, well, for the most part, don't have anything better to do on a Friday night. Or they just choose to be here hanging out, which I greatly appreciate. So let's swing over here to our live stream feed here. We're going to say hello to Rob. How you doing, Rob? Good to see you here. I know you're always hanging out with us in the wee early morning hours over in England. Hopefully things are settling down a little bit. I know the country is still in mourning from the Queen's passing. Andy, how you doing? Good to see you here. Buddy is in the house as well. Buddy, can't wait to see you hopefully in a few weeks at a certain event. Tim is hanging out with us as well as Wayne, Mr. One Feather. How you doing tonight? Mars from up at Lakeshore. He's hanging out with us, sort of. He says he's going to be kind of multitasking, watching this live stream, but also he runs a separate chat on Friday nights where it's just a video chat with guys from all over the world. Really, truly, it is from all over the world, and it's called Lakeshore Chat. Maybe they've renamed it by now, but it's a very cool situation where for several hours, really, guys just pop in occasionally and leave and then come back and check in whenever they can. But it's a really fun chance to continue some of the stuff that was happening really during the pandemic, where it was just all video calls. And so they've continued that, and it's a really, really cool thing to see, especially when you can't get out to see some of your bros, and guys are in different countries, different parts of the world. You just want to hang out with them. As I said, Tim is here with us, hanging out with us. I did see a sighting from another brother from who lives a little further south than me, Mr. Joker. Joker, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you here as well. D Lucky 13 is also here. I'm not sure. Without translating that, I can't figure out, but so I apologize. But hey, he's here. He's here as well. Well, guys, we don't have a whole lot of new chapter news, chapter merch stuff on the books, but I want to get into that real quick, and we'll just see where the episode takes us. So let's quickly get into some chapter merch and chapter news. Okay. Well, look at that. All right. So, chapter merch. First thing up, as far as I know, this is still active. I reached out and I haven't received a negative or a positive tonight. So I don't know for sure if this is still active, but hey, it can't hurt to reach out to the boys at WNC, Western North Carolina, and find out for yourself. They have a very cool shirt available for $20 to $25. Their whiteout patch for $10, and their limited edition BVWNC patch for $25. Available by reaching out to one of two brothers, Chris or Jeff. Chris is on Instagram at fight_the_hearts, and Jeff is at Sam Hain, SAMHAIN _the_villain. Reach out to one of those boys, see if they're still available for some cool WNC merch. Next up, Bearded Villains Peru coming in strong with some patches. These things always look very cool. Very bold colors, very easy to read. Awesome stuff. Bearded Villains Peru has their patches. Send them a DM on Instagram if you want to grab one of their patches. It's a little bit more of a process to get one of their patches, but I can speak from personal experience. It's a very easy transaction with them, and they ship them out pretty quickly. So you get them in just a couple weeks, which is pretty quick for turnaround for international stuff if you live here in the States. Next up, Bearded Villains Puerto Rico still has, to my knowledge, and I'm sure I'll get corrected otherwise here in the comment section, if they're not available any longer, but their black and white Puerto Rico patch for $15 available going through their PayPal at Bearded Villains Puerto Rico, all one word, Bearded Villains Puerto Rico 1 at gmail.com. Bearded Villains Puerto Rico 1 at gmail.com. Get one of these really cool patches. They have such an interesting logo because it has the design of the outer edge of it. It's just not a circle like everything else in the world is. But Bearded Villains Puerto Rico, very cool patch. And next up, to my knowledge, I checked this out on their site, and it was still active this evening. So Bearded Villains New England, the Saints, they have their American Foundation for Suicide Prevention Walk shirt still available for $28 to $34. I think this was a pre-sale, but I think it's still available. $28 to $34. A very cool bright blue color with a teddy bear, a bearded teddy bear on it. And then it says American Foundation for Suicide Prevention on the back of it. Very, very cool stuff, guys. I love the merch that our guys are putting out for the different events and the different organizations that they're trying to raise money for. That is the BV New England shirts. And finally, I always leave mine for the last. Finally, my chapter, Bearded Villains Northern Indiana. This is going to close down this weekend, so this will be the last time I mention it. the Ezra Crow World Tour t-shirt. Ezra Crow World Tour t-shirt has a very cool image of the cemetery with our Ezra Crow hovering over the top of the cemetery, paying homage to a very popular music album from the 80s. And then it has the cities' names of all the cities that our chapter brothers have been to, representing our chapter and Ezra Crow this past year. Available for $25 to $27, depending on your size, at bvnorthernindiana.bigcartel.com. bvnorthernindiana.bigcartel.com. That's where you can grab one of those. Now, I have an announcement regarding these. This just in. If you are more inclined to prefer a black hoodie, please reach out to the BV Northern Indiana Instagram page, because we have just decided that for a couple of days, we're going to offer this design in a black hoodie as well. So reach out to us. The price will be right around $45, I believe. And black hoodies in this design will be available, but they must be ordered within the next couple of days. So reach out to Bearded Villains Northern Indiana directly on Instagram for further information if you are interested in grabbing this design in a hoodie. And that is chapter merch. All right. So I've got one thing to mention tonight that came up, just popped up, regarding a specific chapter. So let's do this. And wabam. That's right. Wabam. Bearded Villains Belarus. Bearded Villains Belarus has coming in strong. They've got a new logo. I thought their old one was pretty cool, but hey, this one's pretty cool too. Bearded Villains Belarus coming in strong with a strong, super bold new logo, but it's very streamlined. I think very easy to read, but it's almost kind of laid back and toned back a little bit, but still just as strong and still very, very cool to see. Congratulations to BV Belarus on their brand new logo. All right, so guys, it is 15 minutes approximately past the hour. And I have decided that I wanted to try and do something fun. Now, this is something that I was working on earlier today. I was just kind of spitballing this idea. And I reached out to one of our bros who hosts said meeting. And I was just curious, is there a way that I, while going live during the live stream, can surprise everybody that is currently in the Lakeshore chat? Now, as I said before, this Lakeshore chat is a chat where it's like a Skype call. So you can end up with as many as 2-3 people, or as large as 15, 20 people or more in this call simultaneously. So this is kind of a risk because we have no idea what we're going to get, who we're going to get, what's going to be said, but we're all adults here, right? And so I'm going to attempt to connect in live here during the podcast live stream. I apologize for you, those of you who are going to be listening to this in a standard podcast platform, because I have no idea where this is going to go for very long, and how it's going to sound to those of you who are here listening to the audio only version. But I'm going to try to bring in a live feed from this Lakeshore chat and just see who we end up with in this chat. So let's see what we can do about bringing in this Lakeshore chat. It doesn't seem like there's too many people in here live right now. There's only a handful. Looks like maybe 4 people, but let's see what we get when we bring them in for the Lakeshore chat. Gentlemen, how you doing tonight?
What's going on, man? What's good, BP? What's good?
How you doing? We are live just be careful.
live?
We are live
Okay,
on the
okay.
podcast live stream. I brought you in from the Lakeshore chat just to see how things would be
Cheers.
going for you. How you doing tonight?
Cheers, everybody.
Chilling.
I won't be
Chilling, man.
This is Mo Hillside.
Kicking off the weekend.
So
You drinking Hillside?
Oh, Hillside.
Okay, I'm sipping on some
Carolina-
old tub.
North Carolina
I got some old tub out.
Old
North
tub.
Carolina bourbon.
That's surprising.
Hey,
Oh,
we got you 1792.
That's what I do.
There you go.
Yeah.
CBP, that's one of your favorites right there, man. 1792.
that's right. So for those people that are watching live, trying to figure out what's going on here, I am currently live in the Lakeshore chat also here up on our screen. And we have with us, I'm going to try and let's see if I can try and zoom in so people live can see who is here hanging with us. We have Travis. We have the Lakeshore chat, which is Mars. We have Big Block hanging out, and Corey is here. That's what they're listed at. That may not be that may not be how you know them, but that's how they're listed on this.
Right there.
That's how they're listed, so I'm reading it off that way.
I can dig it.
Sometimes we get government names on here if you're not careful, as Block likes to say.
Corporate.
That's right.
Yeah, don't put the government's out there.
So, guys, how that's how we doing on a Friday night, guys?
Doing
Chilling,
good,
man.
Oh, look at hey. You see, you're about to get a special guest, man.
Oh, look at that! He was just in here live, hanging out.
We got Puzzle. And he's going to be eating his carne asada. Look at eating his carne asada.
That's in my mouth.
Puzzle, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Look at this guy.
He's muted. He can't even hear us.
He's like, you don't want to hear me
You
too.
want him too?
That's all right. We got to hear him talk.
I just don't want to hear you.
Yeah, but
All right,
if you
guys.
mute yourself, it doesn't mean you don't hear us.
So I'm going to go ahead and this is I'm sure this is riveting for the podcast live stream audience right now. But
It'll draw them to go watch the video after.
yeah, that's what it'll do. That's what it'll do. Well, you know, I've said for a while though, Mars, one of the coolest things that I love about this chat that you've created, not only that you created, but you kept going long after the time of COVID, is that it allows brothers to have some sort of a connection to other guys from around the world that they don't get a chance to see, even now that we're past the COVID stuff, and we're able to just hang out with guys, talk to them from around the different parts of the country, and in many cases, different parts of the world. So I think that's a really cool thing that you've done.
You know, it just became like a hangout, really. I mean, at some point, you know, it's just like we're not all in the same vicinity, but at the same time, we look forward to this Friday to just hang out and just talk about stuff, you know.
Let's stick it, man.
Yeah, it gets pretty crazy sometimes, but yeah, it's and sometimes
It is what it is.
and sometimes guys stay up till 2 a.m. Okay.
Yeah, and you already know you got the guys from Europe that stay up until 4 or 5 o'clock their time. So
Right.
good stuff, man. Good
All right,
stuff.
guys. So I'm gonna jump off. Mars, if there's a whole bunch of people that chime back in, somebody's got their audio of the broadcast playing. If you've got if there's a whole bunch more people that chime in, send me a message and maybe I'll come back in before I close out the podcast tonight.
Hey, we'll be here, man.
All right, buddy.
We'll be it.
I'll talk to you in a bit.
All right, you take
All
care.
right, guys. Bye. All right, guys. That was the. Let's see if I can close this thing out and bada boom. There we go. Okay, that was it. Not as exciting and riveting as I had hoped for. Hey, we get these crazy ideas, right? But that was what the Lakeshore chat is. So all you need to do is go to one of many different chats, be it members chat, be it if you're an officer or if you're captain in captain's chat. They post it in about 10 different chat rooms online, and then you just click the direct link, and you can do it from a phone or iPad, just like you would do any other, or computer, like you'd do any other call. So that was that, guys. Real quick, before I play the interview with Jeremiah, I wanted to also give you guys a reminder. In the coming weeks, I will have another new commercial sponsor that we're bringing on, adding to the show, and that is our brother down in Louisiana that we talked to from Mudcat Whiskers. And I just wanted to remind you all that there is an active percentage off. There's an active discount code. If you go to his mudcatwhiskers.com and you just type in under the code Heart of a Villain, all lowercase, you get 30% off. 30% off of your whole purchase. So pretty cool stuff. All right, so let's get into our interview guest for this week, talking with Jeremiah from Kentucky. We get into a whole bunch of craziness, some weird off-topic stuff, but they're really looking forward to hosting this really cool event this weekend. And like I said, I was kind of stunned in talking to him about the fact that it was not publicized nearly. The true nature of the tragedy down there was not publicized, I don't think, and put out for everybody to see. At least I know here in northern Indiana, we saw very little footage of it, and it didn't stay in the news very long. But what he explains and why they chose to do this event to raise money for flood relief victims, it's kind of heart-wrenching to hear about. So, but very, very cool. I'm very proud of BV Kentucky and what they're doing. So please help me welcome and enjoy this interview with Jeremiah. This weekend is an event down in Kentucky that apparently I've been mispronouncing ever since I first mentioned it. So I'm not going to try. Well, let's see if I can try it right this time. This weekend, Bearded Villains Kentucky is going to be hosting Villains for Appalachia. Appalachia, I think, is how I'm supposed to pronounce that. And here today to tell us a little bit about this event, what's going on down in Kentucky, and who knows whatever else we try and get him to talk about, is Jeremiah Duncan from Bearded Villains Kentucky. Jeremiah, how you doing?
Oh, doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. Did I do that right? Appalachia?
You sounded wonderful. You almost sounded like you were from the hollers of Kentucky. So
that's never going to happen. That's never going to sound right. Not me.
Yeah.
So how have you been, man? It's been a bit since we've had you on the show.
Yeah.
How's life been for you?
Everything has been wonderful. Things are great. Very busy, but very good. I definitely can't complain. So
yeah.
Bless.
You are a busy, busy man. And add to all of the printing stuff that you do and all of the work stuff that you do, the family life stuff that you do, the traveling that you do. You also do some a little bit of emceeing, it seems like, at just about every event we usually get to. So
Yeah. Last weekend. I was actually Southern Indiana Villains event. You were there.
Yes, I was.
You tried to kiss. So I mean, it was, no, that wasn't you.
That wasn't me trying to kiss you. There were others though that successfully did many times.
I've lost track of how many kisses I've received on the stage while emceeing. So
you've gone. You get around.
And I have yet to get a fever blister. So I think I'm doing pretty good. So
wow, that does actually shock me.
Yeah. Yeah, herpes free since, I don't know, 2016 or whenever I joined Villains. So 2017 officially patched, I guess.
Okay, so next, I because you have the wherewithal to do this, and it wouldn't really cost you anything, you need to make a shirt that is like some pose of you, maybe with a microphone in hand, or maybe just one of these kind of looks or something.
Yeah.
But it goes on your shirt, and it needs to say, that you have been free since 2015 or something like that, and that's the next shirt you wear.
Yes.
At an event when you're emceeing it.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
That would be perfect. You've been free of any kind of marks, sores, or anything.
Well, now that may actually encourage more kissing. So I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse,
Or just make one up that says, "Kiss me, I'm the MC."
True. Very true.
Just start living your life like Richard Dawson once did.
I love it.
I don't know how that wasn't looked at as just frown worthy and creepy at the time. It was just normal. He just kissed everybody, and now you look back on that and you're like, she's 14, bro. What are you doing?
Like on lip kissing, you know?
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
if I'm the dad there and he's nope, sorry. Well, I guess we don't have to compete then because no, you're not kissing my 14-year-old daughter.
And, you know, in the industry of game shows. I mean, so
Yeah.
it's an MC. You really wouldn't understand.
No, it's not. I've only emceed a couple of times. I'm just a junior varsity level at what you're used to. So uh, that's great though.
We'll let you be my apprentice. We'll bring it in.
Let's do it. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Learn the ways of Jeremiah without the kissing.
Yes. It's literally just a bunch of dad jokes and thanks for coming out. That's literally it.
Right. All right. Well, it works. That works.
You got-
You've been doing it for a long time, so people either just aren't getting tired of you or you're not running out of jokes yet. So
Yeah, very true.
all right. So let's talk for a minute about this event that you guys have going on, because you kind of it came together, it seemed like, pretty quickly. Obviously it's one of those things because of who it's benefiting, and that it happened, you know, the event seemed to happen as a result of a natural disaster or, you know, an issue that happened in your area. It's not something that was really planned for long term out. What was that like, that planning stage where you just kind of said, hey, we need to do something?
Yeah, so at the beginning of the year, every January, we get together as a chapter and we really try to plan when we're going to do events, what, you know, ballpark figures as far as the date and things like that. So we knew in September we were going to have an event because it's our anniversary month. So we wanted to really focus on something, and we, you know, normally we pick something kind of local and things like that. And like you said, this tragedy happened with the Eastern Kentucky flooding, and it was just really, really insane how bad it was. I don't think a lot of people really understand how bad it is. I actually work with people at Toyota that their families live down there, and they were stuck on mountainsides for weeks on end. They were trying to float food to them, you know. Their homes were completely destroyed. There's people literally dying of starvation because nobody could get to them because they were stuck in mountains and there was raging rivers that were running through. So I mean, it was really, really bad. Honestly, I don't know if like the news really did it justice on how bad it is, because a lot of those people out in that Eastern Kentucky, it's not I don't want to say well developed, but it's not a rich area. A lot of people are dealing with poverty. There's like a drug pandemic that's going on down there. It's just a really rough area. They don't have a lot of resources. You know, of course, there was coal miners down there, and they've lost a lot of their business and things. So a lot of businesses moved out of there. So they don't have a lot of opportunities that, say, a bigger city or big area would have. So they don't even have a lot of money to be able to rebuild or take care of their things. So like you were stating, you know, we kind of threw this together. We knew the date, time, and stuff like that, but we were trying to iron out the details. And then this tragedy happened, and it's like we got to help our fellow Kentuckians put this together. So we ended up looking around, trying to find a organization that was a nonprofit that we could really help, and that were boots to the ground, that were doing things right there in Eastern Kentucky. And we came across Appalachians for Appalachia.org. They are a phenomenal organization. They're doing a lot of really good work down there. They're trying to flip the script of how people look at Eastern Kentucky, change the view of how those people are perceived, because a lot of them are perceived as, you know, backwoods and uneducated and things, and that's not the truth. They're very talented. There's a lot of artistic culture down that way, and I mean, it's just, this organization is phenomenal. So we reached out to them, say, we want to partner with you, and they said, I think it's fantastic. So actually one of the people that work in the organization is actually one of the judges for our beard competition tomorrow. And so it's, you know, being able to work with them and know that this money we are raising and literally handing over to them is going to a good cause, helping families. And, you know, I think that's the biggest part, is finding somebody that's already connected, that, you know, we don't all, as a chapter, we don't have really the resources or the time, as everybody has full-time jobs, full-time families, to literally go there and be able to do those things. So being able to partner with a organization like them that can and does is crucial, kind of a joint effort. So I'm pretty excited about working with them and meeting them and talking to them. They're super pumped about a beard competition, so I'm just hoping, oh, well, I'm the MC for that one too. But I'm really hoping that they bring in some maybe Eastern Kentucky beards, some burly mountain men that'll compete and, be able to raise some good money for them, as well as, I've already talked to several people from BV as well as other clubs that are coming out to hang out and support this. Shout out to Slugger City, because fellow Kentucky chapter, they ended up doing a patch sale as well, and they were donating all those funds to this event as well. So it's really been literally a entire joint Kentucky effort. So I know Mad Viking Kentucky's coming out. I know that I believe there's a couple other beard clubs, Beard and Loathing, which is a local beard club. They're coming out. So just that's what it's all about. Beard of Villains is, of course, we think is the best, or we wouldn't be in it. We love what our community is, but to just be able to get other clubs, other nonprofit organizations, and be able to come together as Kentucky and just show that unity to help other Kentuckians, I think is phenomenal. So I'm pretty pumped about the event tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just still amazed. Maybe I can guarantee. You said maybe that there wasn't a whole lot of coverage. I can guarantee you that. I mean, as far as news coverage that gets up here,
Yeah.
there was virtually. I mean, you heard it. It was like mentioned in like the D block. Oh, by the way, there's flooding.
Oh,
back,
yeah.
Back to
Well,
back to our main story. Politicians arguing about
Oh,
but I
no.
mean it's
Well,
that
and it's
was not.
because Biden even came down to assess the damage and stuff, but it wasn't even talked about that the president came here because it was so bad. You know what I mean? So it's, again, the coverage really wasn't. It's kind of like, I'll equate it to like, Haiti, because I actually lived there for a year doing work like humanitarian work and things like that. And right before I left, there was this giant hurricane that just obliterated Haiti. And it was like Haiti had another hurricane. And then, like, I'm like, oh, I'm going there, and then it just moves on. And I think that's that's one of the issues of our current society, is if it doesn't make a good news story, like, hey, all these rich people over here, there's all these California wildfires and all these $1 million homes are being threatened. You hear about those, but the people that barely are scraping by, that are literally living check to check, it's a lot of the people that I talked to, like I said, their families were directly impacted and were stuck down there, and so I was able to hear firsthand from people I know about things that are going on down there. And it was kind of funny because, of course, you have like trolls all over the internet, which is always a good time. But there was a news article about it, and I just made a comment about, like, yeah, it's really bad. There's actually people I know that are starving. And of course, people are like, oh, whatever. You're there. I'm sure there's people starving in the U.S., and it just shows how far disconnected some people are from reality. Yes, there are people starving in the U.S. Yes, there's homeless people. Yes, there's, there's issues going on that happen within our country and each one of our individual states that we as chapters, it may be chipping a little tiny piece off of this giant boulder of an issue, but at least we're trying to do something instead of sitting back and saying, this issue's too big, or, even like us, we can't physically get there. That's okay. We're going to try to do our part. We're going to try to, even if we only raise $200, man, I'd be so pumped about our chapter just being able to help. Granted, we've already made that because we did a patch sale. So shout out to everybody that bought the patch. Thank you. As well as what Slugger City sold. So I know we've already got a big purse already started to develop. And then after the beard competition, I know we'll be able to donate a decent amount of funds for the organization and for the people of Eastern Kentucky. So.
Yeah, I'm just amazed by the lack of attention, because you like you said, you hear about these $1 million homes going up in the wildfires or things like that, but the fact that people are actually, living, like you said, on mountains, and starvation is happening. Yep. We know that there's a homeless epidemic around the U.S. in various parts already, and yes, there's the needy that are homeless, don't eat what they should and don't get what they should as far as resources, and that's never seemed to be covered enough.
Don't even get me started about healthcare.
Yeah, well, but I mean, the mere fact that this was happening and that was not, somebody wasn't screaming, with a news crew,
Yeah.
that they weren't covering that. That's just because sadly, I mean, it takes that for these organizations to get the traction that they need so that they can get the monies that they need. There are people out there that would love to give to stuff, but unless they're locally affected by it or aware of it, how can you donate? Because I know of a lot of people that donate, they kind of earmark X number of dollars a year for charity or for charitable purposes. And it's not always the same organizations. And so they're looking for things to donate to. And, I know a lot of people, when Katrina happened down south, they were looking for the organizations that were boots on the ground, like you said, that they could donate to. And some people don't want to donate to the big named organizations a lot of times because they feel that there's, the bureaucracy of the situation. You're just paying somebody's salary versus the other. But
yeah, totally get that.
But the fact that this is to the extent I feel bad because I didn't realize how bad it was. I mean, I knew it was obviously bad enough that, that your chapters, both of your chapters, were seeing it enough close up that you decided that this needed to be addressed and we're going to take part in something. But wow, I had no idea. So, and I'm excited about the possibility you might get some of those country beards coming up. That would be really cool.
Oh, in there,
Yeah, that's wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Can you talk for just a second about I know we've already mentioned a little bit, we talked a little bit in a joking fashion about all the emceeing that you've done in the past.
Yeah.
But you've probably seen kind of an influx starting, it seems like, and I love it, where it's not just BV anymore that are going to our events, and you're emceeing these things, and you're seeing guys from different clubs coming out of the woodwork and attending events. What can you talk for a minute about the fact that how we're all part of one big thing for charity, and what's that's been like for you to see these guys coming out and it not just being a BV thing anymore?
Yeah. I think it's a testament to even where we've come from as a organization, because I know when I first joined BV, like I said, I was patched in 2017. Some of the first events that I went to is literally just BV guys, and which is awesome, because you get to meet people in your organization or your club, and you're like-minded, what the rules are, how they got in, what they went through, all these things. But it really does seem like in the past few years, we've seen kind of an influx of other chapters and us being like, no, come to our event, hang out with us. And even other, BV chapters going to other events. And I think that's important because I think at the end of the day, what you have is a bearded community, and we want to change the world and do good things in our communities, in the world, and have a positive impact. Because what's really the whole point, and like where bearded villains came from, is that always the villain had a beard, and there's a lot of stereotypes around people that look like us, bearded, tattooed, most of us, I mean, how many times have people been like, are you in a biker gang? I know everybody has heard that because we have patches all over everything and stuff. Be able to have this look and be able to go and open the door for an old lady, let her in, and be able to donate money here. We raise this for you, and be able to show that throughout the bearding community, like, we are here to literally have fun, raise money for a good cause, and change stereotypes. And I think that is, to me, that is the coolest thing in the world, because I think all the clubs, they're all doing their own thing, which is awesome. And they're all trying to do the same thing we're trying to do, trying to impact their community. So I think we should support that. I think that's a good thing, because at the end of the day, we're all bearded and we all look ridiculous. So
that's exactly true. Well, some more than others, but it's been really fun. I know to see, just from the from the viewpoint of the person that's participating in or just viewing these events, because you see a larger group. And I know one of the ones that we always used to go to down in Kentucky was Whiskermania, where it
Yeah.
seemed like, bearded villains were outnumbered by everybody.
Yeah.
There were 1/10 the number of bearded villains that there were from all these other clubs. And that was what was so cool to see, was like, you were like, wait a minute, there's a club there too. There's a club there
Oh, yeah.
too. There's a club. And I think it's refreshing to see that, we choose to be part of Bearded Villains, but like anything else in the world, that's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And other people want to do this, and it makes more sense for somebody to be in this club or this other club or do this other thing. And it doesn't make that choice wrong. It doesn't make them bad.
Yeah, it may be by association because they met Joe Smith at the barber shop, and he happens to be in, Derby City from Louisville, and so he joins them, and then it's like, wow, there's this whole community over here. Because I do think sometimes in BV we get a little blinders on, like, because here it's BV,
Yep.
which I think is great. Like, like I said, I love going to events and seeing all my villain brothers and, just hanging out with everybody and stuff like that. But when you meet at least for me, when I meet other chapters of like Bearded Rebellion, I've got Beard and Loathing, I've got Mad Viking, I've got there's so many different beard clubs within Kentucky, and there's some even offshoots of mom and pop clubs that we've got here. They just to be able to connect with those people, and like I said, we're like-minded, we want to do good things in our community. I think that's awesome, because in the end it's all about trying to be the difference and the light you want to see in the world, so I think the more you got doing that, the better. It doesn't matter what affiliation you got. So
yeah, well, that's true, totally true. And I love, like I said, I love seeing this kind of mentality is kind of flipped a little bit, and it's changed, and it's much more welcoming, I think, than when I first came in too several years ago.
Well, and I know even some of our past events, like Mad Viking hit me up, the chapter here, because I've known them for a long time now, and they're like, is it cool if we come to your event? I'm like, well, hell yeah, it's cool to come. Like, we're trying to raise money for charity. I want as many people as possible here, plus I want you to be able to rep your club. And it's funny because people that, again, we always look like bikers, and they've got cuts on too, and back patches and patches. And I had a buddy from work come out one time, and he was like, you all gonna fight? Because you're like different clubs and stuff. I'm like, man, it's not like that,
No.
We're all just here for a good time, and to raise money, man. That's what it's all about. So,
and from a fun competition part of it, what I love is I've encouraged, guys to either go to other people's events or other clubs. Come to we don't want to see the same 17 guys all the time winning this stuff because they're in our club. I want to see some guys from other clubs give these guys a run for their money and show them that, oh, this guy exists and he's just going to destroy my beard. Well, it's a more fun thing.
Oh, absolutely. Even talking about my MC stuff. So I got to MC out, and I was honored too. There's a club out of Missouri called Wicked Whiskers, and I don't know if he's their captain, or I don't know what their ranking system is, but I think he's the guy that basically made Wicked Whiskers. He hits me up, and he's been at several of our events. He loves bearded villains and everything, but he just wanted to have his own club, and I'm like, that's awesome. So he hit me up a few months back and was actually like, can you MC our event? We'd love to have you. We can give you free drinks. We can't pay for anything else because we're trying to raise money. And to me, that's a labor of love. I don't mind paying for my hotel and my gas money and stuff like that, because again, in the end, we're all just trying to do good in our community. And I was honored that another club would even have me be able to be the MC, while repping, Bearded Villains. So, and it was cool too, because even at that event, it was literally me, and I don't know if you know Chris Webb from down south. He was one of the judges. So the only two BV people that were there were literally me and him. And it was me on stage and him at the judges stand, which was pretty cool, because we got to be, I guess kind of like the mouthpiece for BV and try to, be good examples. So We didn't get too rowdy. I respected, I acted respectfully. So, but yeah, it's cool to be able to get asked to do that stuff.
Yeah.
I find it an honor. Most chapters are like, "Are you sure you're cool with it?" I'm like, "Oh, I love it. I think it's great."
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get just real quick into the nitty gritty of what you're. I'm making you late tonight for your meet and greet event that you're having, your casual meet and greet. But
That's all.
for anybody that's kind of still on the fence, that might live within a few hours drive that can make this thing, give us a lowdown of what people can expect if they're close by, that they can come tonight to the meet and greet area, or what the plan is for tomorrow.
So at Kentucky, we've never really done like the full on meet and greet thing. We're more focused on the event. Of course, people come in, so we usually figure out some sort of hangout spot. So tonight, actually, in about 5 minutes, we're meeting at Mere Twin Brewing Company. They've got rolling oven pizza there too. Just gonna be hanging out, having a good time. I'm just finding another excuse to ride my motorcycle, so I'm happy. Tomorrow is the real event. We're going to kick it off at 5, start doing registration for everything. Probably do some sort of flag shoot right before the event starts. Once everybody kind of gets there, probably start the beard competition about 6:30, depending on how registration's going. And we got a silent auction going on. Got quite a few really good things we got to offer up. Gibbs Grooming actually sponsored the event, so all the winners, first, second, and third, will get some Gibbs swag, if you will. We also will have. I have a very special item that I'm going to auction off, which I am very excited. I got it made, and I'm so tempted to show it to you, but I don't want to because I think you would love it. God, I'm tempted, but I cannot wait. I've kept it in a little cardboard box, so that way when I'm on stage and be like, "We need to auction this off," I can Excalibur, like I could be able to break it out because I think people will be like, "Oh my God, that is ridiculous."
Well,
And
not too many people watch this show anyway, so it'll be.
Oh,
if you
well,
wanted to show me tonight, you could show me, and it'll be on at 8. During the 8 p.m. hour tonight, which most of the people that are coming, they're going to be at the meet and greet or sleeping.
Actually,
So,
most people told me that they're coming tomorrow, so I think there's only a handful of people. Because I guess a couple other local chapters got some things going on, so they're just going to meet over at the event tomorrow and stuff. Which that event, there is a Facebook page. You can look it up for Villains for Appalachia if you want to. It's going to be at Boondogs, which is a bar grill place. We're going to be outside doing the beard comp and everything. So it's going to be a good time. We've got 5 different categories, I think, that we're running on the beard comp. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
man, that's great. Now, is there any way, just because I'm going to ask, is there any way for anybody that wants to donate that's not going to be able to come, can they donate?
So if you would like to donate and you are not able to make it, we will gladly take your money and give it to the organization. So you can PayPal us. It is beardedvillainsky@gmail.com. So just put in the notes donation for event, something like that. So I know what it's coming in for because I handle that stuff. So just send it in that way. Bearded Villains, no spaces, nothing, no underscores, nothing like that. It's all one word. beardedvillainsky@gmail.com. Just whatever you want to give. I mean, honestly, $5, $2, anything helps, So we truly, for the price of a cup of coffee a day, you can you can sponsor an Eastern Kentucky family. So
I don't have any Sarah McLachlan music to start it off with.
Yeah. But yeah, seriously, if you want to do that, that would be amazing. Because I'm sure since people will watch us later tonight, stuff may be coming in, and that way we can tally everything, with the event tomorrow and stuff like that. So, I'm
going to challenge everybody tonight on the show to PayPal maybe just $5 or something, or at least $10 or something. It'd be fun.
Be honored. Thank you so much.
We have no idea. We have no idea if it'll work, but sometimes we can guilt people into doing some crazy things. So,
and you said 500? Is that what you said?
I think there's a glitch here in I think your Wi-Fi is acting up over there.
Oh, I wish I could auctioneer, give it a out of that'd be awesome. But I can't.
People go to school for that.
Yeah,
that's okay. That's right. Well, man, I wish I could see. I'll just have to wait until I see pictures of the event tomorrow for this surprise item. That'll be
You will
fun.
pictures of it for sure because Puzzle. I'm sure you're familiar with Mr. Puzzle, one of my good buddies. He inspired this gift, so it's
That doesn't say
pretty.
much because it could be anything. That could be just about anything.
That's why I can't give anything away, but
All
I
right.
want to. Somebody so bad. I'm like giddy. Like I am awful when it comes to like surprises for people. I'll be like, okay, we're having a surprise birthday party for you. You know, like. So don't tell me if you have like any surprises. I'll hold secrets. I'll hold those hard. But surprise stuff that I know people are gonna love and get excited.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm
Yeah.
the same way. We have a bunch of stuff for our event that's coming up in October that I've always bounced it off Ed, my co-cap, and I'm like, hey, do you think we can? Not yet. You think we could tease? No, we should wait. Okay, how about So in the coming weeks we will, but I'm antsy to want to be able to show stuff. So,
Yeah.
but that's how I am too. So, well, I'm excited for you. It's
Thank
really
you.
cool that you guys put this thing together, and it's even more cool that you guys are putting a spotlight on something that did not get the proper attention that it should have
Yeah.
several weeks ago. So I'm glad that you guys are stepping up and doing this, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right.
Thanks for allowing me to talk about it. So
100%, man. It's my pleasure. Be safe. Have a good weekend. Be safe on your bike tonight. Don't get in the foggy haze when you're headed over there. Make sure you're being safe away from the other yahoos that are trying to get where they need to go on a Friday night.
the best advice ever given to me is if you see a car, they're going to try to hit you. So I keep my head on a swivel when I'm on the bike.
Good. That's right. All right, man. Well, hey, have a great night. Have an awesome event. I look forward to hearing about how the weekend went from you on Monday. And we'll talk to you soon, man.
All right. Appreciate you, brother.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Okay. Oh, good conversation there with Jeremiah. Yeah, it still bothers me. It still bothers me that that the situation, the flooding situation and what took place after the flooding was so bad, and it was not more publicized because, as I said, I think people would really wanted to have reached out and helped out. But sometimes that's sadly not where the money goes. It goes to other things that get more publicity. So hate to say that, but true. Let's do this. If you are looking for an all-natural beard oil that will not only tame your beard and coarse hairs, but make your beard soft and smell amazing, check out Pulpo Beard Oils. Veteran-owned and made for today's beards, Pulpo beard products combine the best beard ingredients on the market with incredible customer service to ensure your happiness. Whether you need beard wash, beard oil, beard balm, or some fun clothing, Pulpo is the place to go. Feel fresh, feel savage, feel confident with Pulpo Beard Oils. Go to Pulpo Beard Oils, that's Pulpo, beardoils.com, and use the code The Heart of a Villain for a discount on your order. All right, so we're going to slide in down to our calendar of events. If for some reason you got something going on that I have missed, I do apologize. It's not on purpose. All right, this weekend down in Lexington, Kentucky, Villains for Appalachia, hosted by BV Kentucky, raising money for flood relief victims down there in Kentucky. Very cool to see. Next weekend is the big event over on the East Coast called the East Coast Meet. ECM's in Baltimore, Maryland, hosted by the SOMD and Chesapeake Bay chapters. Southern Maryland and Chesapeake Bay coming together to host the East Coast Meet. I will be there. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast. At the Hilton Baltimore Inner Harbor is where everybody's staying, by the way. Anyway, ECM, September 23rd to the 25th in Baltimore, Maryland. That same weekend, September 24th, in California, here in the States, the California Villains Meetup is taking place at Rincon Beach Park. hosted by the SenCal BV chapter. It goes from 8 a.m. to dusk. It is BYO everything. So whatever you want, you got to bring it yourself. Food, drinks, and all the other stuff. Toys for merriment, whatever it is you want. Bring it all, September 24th. If you have any questions, hit up the SenCal BV chapter. And September 30th is the Bearded Villains Beard Comp for Elevate the Spectrum. Big long name for a very good cause. BV Beard Comp for Elevate the Spectrum, hosted by the Bearded Villains New Mexico chapter. It's at Juno, 1501 First Street in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Registration from 6 to 7, the comp from 7 to 9:30. Again, BV New Mexico hosting BV Beard Comp for Elevate the Spectrum. Then into October we slide. October 8th, our Mississippi boys are celebrating the 6-year anniversary with the Traveling Gnome Beard Competition. Traveling Gnome Beard Comp in Tupelo, Mississippi. It's at Steele's Dive Bar. 1 p.m. they have a lunch, 4 p.m. a beard comp, 7 p.m. is the after party. The Traveling Gnome Beard Comp in Mississippi, October 8th. Then October 14th and 15th is the Florida Summit in Orlando, Florida. The meet and greet on the 14th, Beard Comp on the 15th. Come one, come all. If you're near Florida, go to Orlando. Go hang out with Mickey and the boys. Florida Summit, Orlando, Florida, October 14th and 15th. That same weekend, October 15th, if you're anywhere near Phoenix, is All Villains Eve. All Villains Eve. Now remember, this is the really, really different and very cool event hosted by the Phoenix Villains. It's in Mesa, Arizona. This is the one that includes wrestling. It's wrestling. They got wrestling, costume contest, vendors, raffles, all sorts of other stuff. But wrestling! It's a wrestling event. How cool. Hosted by the Bearded Villains Phoenix chapter. It benefits the Phoenix Children's Hospital. The Phoenix Children's Hospital. Again, that's All Villains Eve, October 15th. That same day, over in Pennsylvania, across the country here in the States, is the Battleborn Killer Beard Competition. Battleborn Killer Beard Competition, hosted by Bearded Villains Pennsylvania East chapter, BVPA East. It's at the Wooden Match, 61 West Lehigh Street in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It's a beard competition, costume contest, all the good stuff. October 15th, that's Battleborn Killer Beard Competition, hosted by BVPA East. The last two events are on the same day, different parts of the country here in the States. October 22nd, Villains Night. October 22nd is Villains Night. BV Utah is your hosts. It's at Handlebar, 751 North, 300 West, Salt Lake City. They got a beard competition, costume contest. They're raising money for Family Place Utah. Again, that's BV Utah hosting in Salt Lake City with Villains Night. And then finally, we've had it here before, October 22nd, the return of Ezra Crow. The return of Ezra Crow. Bearded Villains Northern Indiana is your host. We will host you up here in Hobart, Indiana at the Hobart Moose Lodge. This is a costume contest, beard competition, and professional magic show, and so much more. It's going to be a blast. Got to get up here to Northern Indiana on October 22nd. Come hang out with us. We're going to have a blast. That is the return of Ezra Crow, hosted by Bearded Villains Northern Indiana, October 22nd. So guys, hey, we've had a good time here on this Friday night. Had a great interview. We've even gotten to sneak into the Lakeshore chat. I said I might sneak back over into it, but hey, we've already gone an hour and you guys have better things to do. If you're interested though, if you're interested to go swing into the Lakeshore chat right now, by all means, please go do it. If you're here live, hit up the Lakeshore chapter and get the link, or check out one of many different rooms on the Line Chat platform where they post the link. So that's what you want to do. That's the best advice I can give you right now. Guys, that's going to wrap up episode 152 of The Heart of a Villain. Please remember you can still buy shirts, patches, pins, all that good stuff at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. That's where you can watch and listen to all previous 151 of these here episodes. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Guys, I want to challenge you to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. And the most important words I say every week here on this microphone, please remember them well. It's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. Well, guys, have a great night, a great rest of this weekend coming up. I will see you back here next week for episode 153. Until then, take care, stay safe.
From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain. It's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go